Hey everybody. The way the camera is angled is pretty hard to see me, but I've angled it this way so you can see the video better, or see the bags better, I guess, which is the whole point of the video. I had a few viewers, I got tongue-tied there, I had a few viewers that wanted me to make two separate videos. One of them was about the straps on the newer bags versus the older bags, and the other video was kind of about my personal collection and what I decided to keep and what I didn't. So on my previous video I had the frost green, I believe I had the yellow one, which I still have, along with the graphite, and I also have the sky blue. I no longer have the frost green or the sky blue, and I decided to go with actually two totally different colors. One is the fog Kanken, the fog gray, and the orchid, which is a new color they released this year. I don't think they've ever had it before. They had something similar and it was lilac, or I think that's what it was called. It might have been called violet, but it's more of a bluish purple. I actually kind of like that one better, but they don't sell it anymore, so I went for this one and I'm loving it. It actually looks good with pretty much anything I put on, which I did not suspect from something with this kind of color. So I'll just tell you, I'll tell you a bit about the straps just because I had a viewer that was interested in that. She mentioned that the straps are different on the newer ones than the older ones. I would have to agree, but I don't really see a huge difference between, so I'll just say, like, between this one, the yellow one is actually the oldest one that I have. I can tell by the logo because it has a pink logo and it has a bit of a sparkle to it, almost like a texture. This one has again a different logo. It's more like a reflector material, I guess. I don't even know if this one's reflective, but anyways, these ones have actually a red logo and they're extremely reflective and they're quite thin. They're not rubbery like this one or that one is. But when it comes to the straps, I actually found these to be quite stiff. I think the person, I probably should have read the comments better, but I think the person told me that the straps were not as good quality on the new ones, and overall I would have to agree. I think the bags are not made as good now as they were before, and I don't know if it's because they're just producing more of them since they became so popular. But with this bag I found the straps to be pretty stiff. It took a really long time for them to get soft enough that they weren't sticking out. I really don't like it when they kind of stick up all the time. This one, it came like that. It came with very soft straps, and same with the back. These look like this one now, but I could probably show you on the newer model how stiff they are. You can really see, and these are really soft. So the older ones, definitely the straps I prefer. They have more of a softer quality to them. They're more pliable. They're not gonna stick up like this. When you fill the bag up, it actually hangs down, whereas what I had to do for this one is I actually took something and put it on top here and left it on there so that it would fold down. Otherwise it never would have. On this particular bag, I can tell you this strap would not have been ever soft. It just wasn't going to happen. In regards to my personal collection, I have to admit, my favorite bag actually has to be, well, I really like this one because it is a vintage one. I'm not sure the year it was made, but it is one of the older ones. I like the texture of the material, and the shape is a little bit more boxy. So I would say that the yellow one is probably my favorite. I haven't used it a lot. I don't know why, actually, because again, it matches really well with most things I have. It goes really well with neutrals and greens and like army colors and blacks. And someone was asking me about color transfer too, and I think it was mostly about the darker bags printing onto things. I haven't had that with the graphite Kanken. And in regards to having, you know, jeans and stuff transfer onto these, I would think on the lighter colors it would definitely happen. I haven't had anything like that, and I wear black all the time, but again, I don't really know if my clothing has a color transfer property to it. I find that's typical with clothing that's, you know, oversaturated with color, like denim, and it sort of has a different type of quality than a cotton that makes the color more apt to transfer onto something else. This is my favorite bag, which I want to talk about just for a minute. I'll tell you why. This color, it's girly and it's bright, but when you pair it with something, like you can pair it with black, or I even wear this with an army jacket, and I actually think it looks awesome. It's kind of like that little bit of girly peeking out. And the other thing that they've done with the newer bags that I really like, anybody that has a Kanken will agree, even on my gray one, which is still new, they didn't do it. It must be a little bit older than the purple one. But this part, this part in the bag, you get these little threads that come out. They, as you use the bag, they really start to come out and they get caught in the zipper, and then you have to cut them. I mean, it's not a big deal and it doesn't affect the bag. It doesn't make it ravel or anything like that, but it's a little bit annoying when you're out somewhere and it gets caught in the zipper and, you know, you don't have scissors or whatever handy to cut it. So it can be a little bit of a hassle. But on this bag, what they did, which is really smart, is they decided to encase that part of the bag, the stitching, in some cotton piping, and I think it's just really clever. They did it on both the flap and the inside of the bag, and so I'm not in a position now where I'm gonna end up, you know, having those little strings come out. So this to me was a really awesome idea. The other thing they did that's cute is they put a little, I believe it must be, you know, the Swedish flag. I'm not too well versed in flags, but they put a little flag in there. I don't know if you can see it. It's really cute. And they just put kind of just a little bit more attention to detail. And to be honest with you, I feel like this bag is made really well. Like, I feel like it's made better than my gray one. I don't know. I maybe, like, you know, people were complaining about the quality, and then they just finally decided to, you know, just get a little bit better with some of those details, and I think it's really paid off. The thing that I love about the light colors too, and this might sound counterintuitive to what most people would say, but I love how they show dirt. I love it when something looks used and loved. I think it makes it look vintage and lived in. I love that style. I think it really adds to the bag, the style of the bag, and with a lot of things like clothing, I like that worn in loved look, and that's what I really like about the lighter ones, is that you can really see, you know, the dirt on it. The gray one I've used not as much. You can see the dirt on the gray one, but it's definitely not as visible just because most of the dirt is gray in tonality, so it's not gonna pick up as much. If you're looking for a bag that you don't want to look dirty as easily and you want a lighter color, the gray one is a good one to go with, because again, the marks are blending in. With the lighter color here, you know, these, I actually find, I mean, the yellow one obviously is the easiest to mark. I've only used it a handful of times, and I was extremely careful when I used it because I knew it would mark easily, and it still is covered in marks, and you can see the discoloration there, like it's supposed to be yellow and it's that color. So the lighter colors are gonna pick it up no matter what. But even this color, it's darker, but it's still a bright color. You can really see the marks. I have a lot of black marks on this one. I don't even know how that happened, but you can really see how it starts to pick up the color, the color of whatever's around you, and it really gives that vintage lived-in look. The bag doesn't really look like it's from 2007 when it starts to kind of get that that sort of gray, you know, color on it. So yeah, I tried to fit everything in as quickly as possible. I didn't want to make too long of a video. If you have any questions about any of the bags I've shown and you want to see more details, or you know, you have different questions about the bags, I can do my best to answer the question for you. I might even buy another one because I just love them so much, but I'm going to try to control myself because I know they're going to continue to release color after color that I'm going to love. Well, thanks for watching.